Kelly Barlow Creations. If you're new to my channel and you're stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget, more everything on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube should notify you every time I upload a new video, depending on the option that you choose in the drop-down menu of the bell. If you're interested in following me on social media, you can find those links in the description box below. So what do I have going on for you for today? Today I'm going to be trying out these wood tools that we've all seen on the crafting aisle at the Dollar Tree by Crafter's Square. I don't know how many of you have picked them up, but I picked them up over a year ago and they've been sitting in my stash just staring at me. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little bit intimidated by them because I really don't know much about carving wood. And so I'm seeing these 4 different tools and they're not sure what they're each used for, but I decided that this is something I was gonna tackle. I kind of researched wood carving a bit and I decided that I was gonna try these tools out to see just how good they are. Do they work? How can we incorporate these into our DIYs? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. I'm kind of excited to see how these work, so I'm gonna quit my gabbing, let's jump into it, and let's see how Dollar Tree's wood carving tools work and how easy it is. Is it gonna be easy? I think so. I mean, it's 4 tools. We craft, we DIY. How hard can it be? Okay, maybe it can be, but let's see. Alrighty, so these are the wood carving tools by Crafter's Square that you can find at the Dollar Tree. It comes with 4 different tools. Since these are wood carving tools that we're trying out, I need wood, so I dug into Jeff's stash of 2x4s and I pulled out a scrap piece of wood. I needed something to carve. Since I've got the wood, I've got my tools, I dug into my stencils and figured I'd pick out something basic. This bee looks pretty basic. It looks easy enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace this onto my 2x4. Alrighty, so far so good. We are going places. This isn't too hard so far. These are the 4 tools that come in the Crafter's Square wood carving tool kit set. It's 4 different ones, and so I went ahead and did some research to see what each of these was used for. And so it says that I need to start off with this angled one here, and this tool here is best for outlining whatever it is you're going to cut out. And I guess this is going to give you a basis of where your wood carves and where it doesn't. And so by, I guess, what I'm going to call scoring, now I am no wood carving connoisseur. This is not my expertise, but I did do a little bit of research. So if I'm using these tools wrong, I know somebody's going to tell me that I am, but this is honestly the first time that I've actually tried wood carving, and so I wanted to be true to trying these out for the first time to actually see how hard or how easy it is. And so far this is looking pretty easy, and so I'm going to hold this just like it's a pen and I'm going to carve right along the line that I made when I traced my stencil, because why not? It's time to get carving, and since I've got a straight line, I'm going to use this tool here, which is just the flat tool, and you can see that it's just kind of a square, and you're going to need a hammer for this. I placed my wood on a no skid, I guess, no skid, because I don't have clamps. I don't have the proper table to clamp down my wood. I do know that you need to clamp this, but I can't clamp it, and so I'm gonna make do with what I have. I'm just trying to give this a shot to see how these tools work, and so I think this is gonna work with the no skid. So by placing the tool on the edge of where you're gonna start carving, I guess, you're gonna place it at an angle. You don't wanna go straight up and down. You kinda wanna go at an angle, whatever degree angle that is. I couldn't tell you, but you can see what I'm doing, and you're lightly going to hammer the end of your wood carving tool, which is then in turn going to kind of cut through or carve through the wood as you see me doing here, and it's going to carve it the width of the tool blade, the wood carving tool blade. I know, I don't know the terminology, but I'm a crafter, I'm not a wood carver. But since Dollar Tree has wood carving tools, we're gonna try wood carving. And so I've reached the end, and so you can see that, look at that, I have got my first shaving of wood. I'm gonna say that's pretty stinking cool. Look there, I just carved some wood with a Dollar Tree wood carving tool. I'm also reading that this tool here that we just used to carve this shaving out is a pretty handy tool for cleaning up those edges. And so that's what I'm gonna try and do because they seem a bit rough. And yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of gently run it across there to get some of those, what I'm gonna call splinters, to smooth out a bit. Alrighty, so I'm gonna say so far so good, seems easy enough. And so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this first side of my bee, going down again. And you can see that this really doesn't seem all that hard so far. It's pretty easy. I think it would be a bit easier, like I said earlier, if I had the proper table and maybe a clamp to clamp down the wood to keep it in one place. But like I said, we're working with what I have. And so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this one side of the bee. And I gotta say, there's something pretty satisfying about the way this is going so far. So far, this has turned out very clean. It was very easy to do. I would imagine if I put a little bit of sandpaper in there, it would smooth it out even more. But for now, we're just trying out the tools. So we're gonna move on to the rounded part of the bee. And again, I'm gonna take my angled tool and I'm gonna trace along my pencil line, just giving us that scored edge. Now, I know it's not a scored edge, but I'm gonna call it that because I'm a crafter. So it's a scored edge. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this part I was a little intimidated by because I thought, okay, there are some curved edges here. And so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to maneuver these tools along those rounded edges, but we have more than just two tools here. We've got two other kind of, I guess I would say, a triangled edged one and a rounded edge one. And so here in a bit, we're probably gonna give those a go, but I'm still just going with that same technique of using that flat tool and just kind of carving straight as much as I can until I reach that curved edge. What I started to quickly realize in wood carving is that the angle in which you hold your tools determines the depth in which you carve the wood. I mean, really, duh, Kelly, of course it does. But controlling the depth of how deep you carve the wood is really difficult. And so you really want to kind of go the same depth, and that I found was a bit harder to do. It was easier to do with the flat tool than it was to do with any other tool. I also started to realizing that these wood carving tools aren't the best. I mean, we're paying $1 for them, so what do you expect for $1? You can see how far I've gone in my wood carving adventure here. I haven't been excessively rough on the tools, and yet here we are and my tool breaks apart. It didn't hold up very good. It really just came apart in 3 pieces. And so here we have the main tool that we need to use in 3 pieces. So of course, being the crafter, I went ahead and pulled out my hot glue and I hot glued it and started pounding away some more just to see if we could get a bit more use out of these tools. Now, again, I am not a wood carver, but I don't think that I am using these tools wrong according to my research, and I don't feel like I have used them excessively, or I don't know, it broke after about 15 minutes of carving, but we're gonna move on and we're gonna try a couple of these other tools out. And this is the rounded tool. This isn't the V or triangle tool. And so as I'm going around the angled parts of my bee, I'm realizing that the straight tool is just not gonna work. And so maybe I should switch tools and move on to this tool. And really, I don't know what all I'm doing, but I know that this is not going as smoothly as it did when I went straight, but we're gonna still give this a fair shot. I am not ready to throw the towel in yet. And so I'm figuring out that as I move the tools and hammer and go at different angles with the tools, that it will cut the wood. But going at a different angle with the wood, I am finding that there are a lot of splinters or wood shavings that are still attached, or wood hairs or wood fibers, whatever it is. What I do know is that it is not coming out as smoothly as the straighter part of the bee. The straight part of the bee, it fooled me. I think I had a false sense of this is gonna be easy. And when I've gotten to these angled parts, it just is not. And I'm finding that I'm going deeper, and I'm just kind of making more of a mess and having more of a mess that I need to clean up. And so yeah, we're still gonna give this a go though, and we're gonna see if I can clean this up a bit and salvage this bee. So I'm gonna say that this is a hot mess. It is not easy, and it could just be the technique or the method in which I'm doing this. But I will say that I did do, I would say, a fair amount of research. I did watch a couple YouTube videos on wood carving. Now, were they Dollar Tree tool wood carving videos? No, they weren't. And the videos that I saw, people that were carving wood had several more tools than the 4 that I have. And so, yeah, this is not going as smoothly as I thought. Is it going as bad as I thought? No, I mean, you can see that it's a bee and the angle isn't horrendous. It's just the inside of the wood that I was having quite a bit of trouble smoothing out. Now, I really just wanted to stick with the wood tools because I wasn't seeing that anybody was using sandpaper yet. Now, I know that I can get some sandpaper out and probably sand this, but I really wanted to give these tools a go. And so, yeah, you can see the bottom half. I ended up getting it a bit cleaner by using the rounding tools, but now I have now broken my second tool. I dig into second set of tools, and right straight away it broke off, and I don't think that I'm using it excessively or too harshly. And so yeah, so far we've gone through 2 tools and they've broken off fairly quickly, or broken apart fairly quickly. And this is the result of about an hour and 10 minutes of giving these tools a go. I really did give it my all, and I'm not gonna lie, I was getting frustrated because I really wanted these to work. I really wanted this to not be as difficult as it seems, and I really wanted to clean these edges up. I had this need to make those curved edges of the bee smooth, and it just wasn't working. It had to be the OCD in me, but it just wasn't working, and each of the tools just kind of kept breaking. And so was the frustration level rising? It was a little bit, because at this point I was wishing that I had a better set of tools, because I really wanted this bee to turn out, and it just wasn't. And so at the end of the day, once I kind of got it fairly smoothed out, I did go in with some sandpaper and clean it up a bit more, and just to see if I could salvage it, to see if these tools would be good enough just to kind of get us through, and then we could smooth it out with sandpaper. And this here was the result. Could I have gone a bit harder? Yeah, with the sandpaper I could have, but the curved edges just did not come out as smooth and as cleanly as that one long edge of the bee. And so this is the result of the Dollar Tree wood carving tools. What do I think? So Kayla's taking an IQ test this week, and she seems to think she's a genius. I think she's a genius, but that's debatable. I'm her mom, so I could be biased. If you need a good laugh, you need to head on over to her channel, where she does the impossible IQ test this week. You can find the link to her video in the description box below. So am I gonna say that the wood carving tools were a complete fail? Part of me wants to say no, but there's another part of me that feels like I have to say yes, because I really didn't get that into the wood carving and these tools fell apart, which is a bummer because I really wanted these wood carving tools to work. I wanted this to be easy and it just wasn't. And so I'm feeling like if wood carving is something that you want to do or something that I want to do, I'm going to need to invest in a bit better quality of wood carving tools than that of Crafter's Square Dollar Tree wood carving tools for $1. And so I think in this case, you get what you pay for, and I'm glad I tried these out, but I'm gonna say that these are a definite no. These are something that is not worth even the $1 investment. And I can't really say that about too many items that Crafter's Square has, but this is definitely one of them. And I know that I could have been using them wrong, but really I don't feel like I went that far off of the trail that I would have broken the tools. I think it was just because it's a low quality tool. And so, like I said, you get what you pay for. I hope you all enjoyed me trying out Dollar Tree's wood tools and really just, I guess, giving my review on them, giving my opinion on them. And like I said, I am no wood carving connoisseur, but I think I did enough to know that these definitely are not gonna get the job done. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's get this video to, you guessed it, 5,000 likes, because like I always say, each and every one of your thumbs up and those comments that you do leave down below, they really do help my channel to grow, and it helps YouTube to notice me just a bit more. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget. Happy wood carving on a budget. I don't know that wood carving could be on a budget. But until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive, please, and bye for now, everybody.